What's up, you guys? How you doing today? So in today's video, we're going to be talking about what a lot of the veteran players have realized, the pattern that DE has, so that they know what is the most important frame that they want to be storing up, what they want to stock up on, whether it's a good time to be selling it or holding on to it, if they should wait longer, like all this sort of stuff. We're going to kind of go over, and I'm going to teach you guys a little bit about what's going on, so you guys can kind of make this like take the experience that we veterans have, and then you can kind of apply that to your own decision making and stuff as to how you want to go about making a stupid amount of platinum. First, I want to talk about, though, that we do giveaways over on this channel. You guys can pause really quick right here. 3 winners every single week are chosen to win platinum over here on YouTube. As long as you guys are liking the video, watching it in its entirety, subscribing, and starting your comments off with PC, PS4, or XB1, you guys are then putting yourselves in to the drawings and stuff. And you can do that on every video. The more you do it, the more drawings you have. And over on Twitch, we do giveaways too. Those are earned. You guys can stop by Twitch and find out more about that. But getting into the video. So what I really want to cover with you guys is going to help answer a lot of questions. It's going to open up a lot more questions, than I'm going to have those too, which I'm not going to know the answer. But for the most part, we're going to help you guys get a lot of questions answered and stuff. So really quick shout out to Teddy, who helped me put this together. At least a lot of this, get all this stuff organized and everything for us. But so getting into like what you guys want to know. Teddy, thank you for that. I appreciate the hell out of it. We're going to go over like the release dates and the primes and all that sort of stuff, and I'm going to kind of get you guys to understand how DE does stuff. Some of the things that they do are completely random, and some of the things that they do are entirely intentional. And one of the things that we know that they do intentionally is they will release frames in a pattern here. It'll be 2 females, 2 males, 2 females, 2 males, 2 females, 2 males, etc. So you guys understand how all that works. That's just how they release stuff. And they generally, when they release stuff, it's approximately every 3 months. Approximately every 3 months, the next new Prime Warframe will come out. And what we're looking at right here, Limbo being the very last one to come out, who was the first male of this rotation, means that we can expect the next male to come out, or the next Prime frame to come out to be a male. We're under the impression that it's going to be a chroma, though it really is up to DE. They don't necessarily follow the exact pattern of how the frames were released into the game. They definitely do follow the male-female pattern, though. And it should be within 3 months after Limbo had been released. So if it's June 19th, we're probably looking at around September 19th. Or sometime in September-ish is probably when we're looking at the next male Prime frame to come out. That's important for you guys to know, so you know when should you start storing your medallions for the syndicates, when should you start getting yourself prepared to like go and farm and grind for this next Prime Access to come out. Like, this will kind of give you just a heads up. All right, it's been about 3 months. We know the next opportunity to make an enormous amount of plat is when a new Prime drops into the game. You guys have that first 2 to 6 hours to make like 1,000 plat if you can get a set together. There are lots of veterans in this game that will pay that kind of plat. And then you have the next 3 weeks to make. Then you have about the next 3 weeks before that frame will finally go down to a price where it's settled. And like that's just going to be its average for a long time. Other things that I want you guys to know is that every time a Prime frame comes into the game, it's in here for 18 months. The frame will be here for about 18 months until the very next thing. Like usually when, for example, like when Limbo came out, Necros got vaulted. When Zephyr came out, I believe it was Vauban maybe that got vaulted. I don't remember all the orders or patterns and all that sort of stuff, but basically whenever a new frame comes into the game, they take one out, and every one of the frames that are currently in the game right now have an 18-month cycle. That is a year and a half. The frame will be in the game and farmable for a year and a half, so 18 months-ish. This is all important to know because that's a definite pattern. They definitely follow the 18 months. They definitely follow the male-female, like double female, double male, double female, double male pattern. They definitely follow those things. The order in which they bring them out may not be so. There is not necessarily a definite order in which they bring stuff out, and this is really what this video is about. There's definitely not a order in which they are going about doing this. These are all the unvaultings. This means the frame has already been in the game, lived its 18-month cycle, and now it's being vaulted. And then it's been vaulted, and then it came back. So Mag is the first frame ever to come back in an unvaulting. And that was the summer of 2016 we had Mag, right? Then summer of 2017, she came back again, but this time she came back with Rhino. And now that summer of 2018, Mag's not back. So if this is the case, if this is a hint that mags, you know, like that's what they're going to do with these unvaultings. They're going to do them 2 months at a time, and then they're not coming back. If that's a hint as to how they're going to go about doing things like that, that means mag should be going up very, very high in price. Because mag did not come back this summer, we all now have no idea when they're going to bring her back. They could screw this up for us and bring back it in a Twitch Prime drop. They could throw her into the Void Trader. Like, they could do any of these things, or maybe even some other stuff that we didn't even think of yet. But it's totally possible for them to do this sort of stuff with mag. But one, we don't know when they're going to do it. We don't know if they're going to do it. So for now, all that you guys need to know is that mag at the moment, she just went up in price. Right? And if you guys are on PC, I know what her normal price is now, but just because she's not coming back for a while, you guys should be shooting for 400 Platinum if you're on PC or Xbox. On PlayStation, everything is about half the price, but that doesn't mean you can't find people that'll give you 400 Plat on PlayStation. So it's up to you and how long you want to spend to grind on a PlayStation, but I'm just going to leave it that PC and Xbox, this is where it should be. The PC and Xbox prices are generally the same. And again, it's a whole nother video and a whole bunch of reasons as to why PS4 market is the way it is, but we're gonna skip that for now. If what they did with mag is what they're gonna do with all the frames as they bring them out as time goes on in the Prime Access, then that would mean that Frost is not coming back. That would also mean that Ember is not coming back, and that would also mean Rhino is not coming back. That would mean that we don't know when, if they're following the 2 pattern and then done, we don't know when Frost, Ember, or Rhino are coming back now. So this time around, now that Rhino is back right now, as I'm making this video, he is out, he is a part of the Unvault. He is something that you guys should be grinding your faces off for. If you guys have stopped by the Twitch channel, you see that every stream that I'm doing, I'm grinding Uko in the Void. The capture Uko in the Void. I am grinding that mission out nonstop because if you're fast about it, it is the fastest way to get the Neo R1 relics that have the Rhino blueprint in it, which is his most expensive part, is Rhino's blueprint. So I am just going crazy on getting as many Neo R1 relics as I possibly can. Because if Rhino doesn't come back, he is absolutely going to be worth a fortune. Like, for example, Mag has kind of a crappy price. Mag is a really great Warframe, but has kind of developed a crappy reputation because she's not just like a one-button kill frame. She's not as simple as you just go in there and, you know, really maximizing her abilities and stuff like that isn't something that you do if you're a noob to the game. You know, Mag is a lot better after you've gotten used to other Warframes and you see how you combine their abilities and you can do other stuff with them. And just when you get really good with Warframes and their builds and stuff, then you can make Mag excellent. Like, Mag is one of the superior female Warframes in the game. And she just has a bad reputation, which is why her cost right here is kind of where it is. People don't really find her popular because everybody's listening to everybody else and they don't get how good she is, which is unfortunate because she rules. But currently, because of that, Mag's limited 400. Rhino, on the other hand, he doesn't have that kind of reputation. So if Rhino doesn't come back, we all just saw that before Rhino came back this summer, you guys saw my videos. I was able to sell Rhino for 600, even though at the time the average was saying 400, and you guys don't follow the websites and their averages, they're not helping you. They are not... These websites don't understand this knowledge, because the websites are based off of other people and how other people are pricing stuff out. So majority of any game you guys play are just filled with new players. The majority of the game. The majority of any player base for any game that you play is usually casual players that aren't studying the game. They're not spending thousands of hours on it like a lot of us are. So they don't understand how to price stuff. They're just going to a website and they're trying to outbid everybody, and that's friggin' the prices for everything. So just be aware of that if you go to those websites, they're probably better for you to buy stuff from, but definitely don't follow the sell prices off those websites, because you are just kicking yourself in the balls if you're going to sell stuff at those website prices. It's so cheap. You're throwing everything away. But those websites said Rhino was good for 400. I wound up even in my plat videos, you guys can check in the description below, I wound up selling him at that time for around 600, and he's still good for 6 to 800. So before Rhino came back, like around now, he was good for between 6 and 800 platinum, which means that if Rhino does not come back next summer, you guys are looking at his price should absolutely be starting at 800 if he doesn't come back immediately. Why? Because we don't know when we'll ever get a chance at getting Rhino again. That increases his value like crazy. And the reason why Rhino's 800 versus 400 is because Rhino's really popular. He's really useful, not just for medium to end game players like Mag, but Rhino's really useful for all players, whether you're brand new, whether you're medium game, whether you're end game, whatever it might be. Rhino is a great frame for everyone all around. So whereas Mag is 400 because we don't know where she's coming back, when she's coming back. And this, again, this should go up over time. Like by next month, this should look like 450. 2 months from now, this should be 500. 3 months from now, 550. 4 months from now, 600. You guys just, until she comes back, that should be going up about 50 platinum every month. So just keep that in mind. Just don't watch this video and then be like, oh, well, I watched a video that came out like 7 months ago and he said Mag was 400, so that's what she said. No, don't do that. There's no possible way that nobody is buying a Mag across all the platforms. There's no possible way that over time, the supply of Mag is remaining exactly the same. There's no possible way. And what these websites don't do is they don't keep up with the fact that there's less supply and that increases the demand. It's just everybody following everybody else, which is why they're really crappy to use. If you're brand new, I understand you don't have a basis. You don't know where to start. And I understand, like, all forgiveness. I'm not hating on anybody that uses them. I'm just saying they're not the best thing you could be doing. You're kind of working hard and giving your stuff away for really cheap if you're using those sites. But currently we're looking at 400 for Mag. If Rhino does not come back, we're looking at about 800 is where his starting price should be. And this is based off of how it's been, over Rhino's life cycle. Like before Rhino came back for the first time right here, Rhino was good for 800. Absolutely good for 800. I sold Rhinos for 800 on Xbox before I even had a PC account. So I know he's good for that. And over here, we're definitely looking at 800 for him. If Ember does not come back, or Ember and Frost, we don't know if now Ember and Frost are ever coming back. So those of you guys that have Ember and Frost sets, you should be saving those things. You should not be getting rid of these sets whatsoever. And just because we don't know when Ember and Frost are coming back, I know a lot of the sites are saying like, oh, they're good for like 300 or whatever. You guys, they're good. Look, they're good for this. They're good for 650 right now. I already know somebody that's been selling Ember sets for 650, and people are paying that. Maybe it doesn't happen right away because everyone is like blindsided by how cheap and crappy the websites are, and they don't know any better, which is fine. But he's absolutely selling these Ember sets for 650. So that's where Ember and Frost should be right now. And the same sort of thing with them. Every month that they don't come back because there has to be less supply, just going around for these sets, you're looking at raising it about 50 every month that goes by. So the longer they're out of the game, the more these should be going up in price. Loki, because he just came back this winter, we can expect him to come back next winter, but we don't know for sure. DE, this is why I have the question marks here. DE can do whatever they want with him. If they want to bring him back in a Twitch drop or put him a part of the Void Trader, they could totally do that. This hasn't gone on long enough for us to know for sure the exact pattern that they're going to do. But what we can guarantee is that Mag didn't come back, so her price should have jumped. You guys should be trying to move your Mags for 400 or more until the day she winds up A, coming back, B, winding up as a Twitch drop, or C, winds up in the Void Trader. Whatever, or D, whatever other option DE might come up with in order to get Mag back into the game. But until that happens, she should be around 400 platinum, just so you guys are aware. But as far as these frames and all that sort of stuff goes, if this is the pattern they're following, Mag, Frost, Ember, they're not coming back. That means Rhino, this is his last time around. Loki is coming back again. Nyx should be coming back again this following summer. But if this is the case, if this is how it's going to work, then the next time Loki comes around, you should be farming Loki just as hard as you're farming Rhino right now. Because even Loki himself is going for a juicy amount of platinum. Definitely just, I don't know if you guys are understanding, like, the pattern here as I kind of walk through this and explained it all. But if you guys do understand this, great. If you don't, maybe stop by my Twitch channel. I'll try and explain it a little bit better in person. If you guys ask detailed questions, I can give better detailed answers. The only other thing to be aware of is that, another thing I want to point out to you guys, the Twitch drops right here, this should not lower a price on something. I'm telling you guys as traders, the strategic advice that I'm giving you to keep you guys wealthy, especially those of you that have watched my videos and get it, and you know, like, you already know my reputation and how I do everything I can to help you guys and prepare you for making the most amount of platinum. Work smarter, not harder, all that sort of stuff. For those of you guys that understand all that, when Twitch Prime drops any of these frames, do not sell them. Whatever the price is when this drops, like for example, Frost, when he came out as a Twitch drop, everybody started lowering their price, and that's the stupidest thing you could do. Just don't sell it. Don't sell the Frost. Wait for it to go away, and then when it goes away from the Twitch drop, whatever its price was when the Twitch drop happened should be where you pick that price back up after you left off. And why? Why is that the case? Because all the Twitch Prime is doing, it's not making more supply in-game for selling, it's just taking away some of the demand. It's causing a lot of people that have Twitch Prime to be able to get this stuff on their own. So they don't have to, like, all these people that are getting Frost when he came back, all the people that are getting Trinity when she came back, which I think she's still back right now at this time. If you guys have Twitch Prime, you know, you guys can get yourself a Trinity Prime and all that stuff for free. But it's not killing the price. Just don't sell it. Don't sell it. All it's doing is lessening the demand, because it's only giving these, it's not giving these to everybody. It's only giving these to people that have Twitch Prime. And it's not letting them turn around and sell it. You can't sell this for platinum. You can't sell your Frost or your Trinity if it's a Twitch Prime thing. You can't sell that for platinum. So it shouldn't be lessening the price. It should, if anything, just be halting the price where it is. Because think, like, you gotta realize when these happen, they don't introduce more relics. They don't cause more frames for trade, quote unquote, for trade to be like existing in the game. So just know that when this stuff happens, it's not a time to panic. It's a time to pause and just pause, like whatever the price is, and don't sell any of this set. Wait for the thing to go away and then pick right back up where you left off when it comes, you know, like when it goes away. I don't think you guys that want to argue this realize that there's so many people constantly coming in and out of Warframe that I feel like when this gets argued, it sounds to me like you guys don't realize that, like, every day there are new players making Warframe accounts. Every day there are new people getting started in the game. And every day there are new people taking a break from the game. They're stepping away from it. They're playing other games. They're not... Every day this is happening. So a lot of people I think that argue this want to say that, oh, okay, so it's only one frame. Or like, a lot of people want to argue this want to be like, oh, okay, when the Twitch Prime thing happens, that means that all of a sudden the price went to crap and it got a lot lower and stuff. And I feel like they're coming from a place where no one ever leaves the game and people only are always ever joining the game. Like, they don't think about it how it's a constant cycle. But with the Void Trader right here, this is what you guys want to know about this. How much do you sell Vault for? What's the best time? So Vault now comes from the Void Trader and he comes in relics, right? When this happens... the Void Trader is on rotation, so whenever the Vault relics come around with the Void Trader, it's in rotation of all the Void Trader's different, you know, like goodies or whatever. Like when the Void Trader comes around, he has different things in his goodie bag for us every time he comes around, and those things are on rotation. So if Vault doesn't, like, if Vault comes back, let's say, you know, in June, he may not be coming back again for you guys to get those relics until maybe October or November, like whenever the next cycle of goodies comes around with that Vault was a part of, which means that immediately when he comes around, his price will drop a little bit, and then after a couple of months, it'll start going back up again. And Vault should be in a constant loop because of the Void Trader, where his price is anywhere between about 100 and 200 platinum, depending on what part of the cycle it is that Vault, you know, like came around and everything. So hopefully you guys found this helpful. And back to these question marks right here, since I didn't really finish up on that. So Loki may be coming back, and then based off of this downward pattern here and how the frames were released, we're looking at potentially Nova to come back, which I think it might actually be Nova. And the reason why is because you look at female, right? But then we have male, female, male, female, male, female, male. male, female, right? Like it's one and the other. It's gender. It's two genders are coming out. Whenever there's at least two that come out at the same time, it's one. It's both genders that are coming back. So under that example, if Loki's probably coming back next winter, and that might be the last time, and then along with him is whatever it is, it's likely going to be a female. So over here we're looking at Nova. It could be Ash if they bring 3 of them back, but if it winds up not being Ash, then the next one we're looking at is probably Trinity or Saren. And the reason why I'm including Trinity in this, even though she came back with a Twitch Prime, so did Frost, and he still had a cycle here. So again, we don't know how they're doing this. We don't know how they're doing any of this stuff, but you guys already got out of this video what we definitely know for sure. And hopefully you guys found this helpful. If you guys have any questions or anything like that, feel free to stop by twitch.tv/DNS007. I can help you guys out. I stream every single day, so stop by. Any questions you guys have, feel free to ask. This video is long enough, but it's pretty important. And hopefully you guys understood this little lesson and stuff and how this all is broken down. And you guys now know whether you should be selling something, whether you should not be selling something. Oh, and this is very, very important. Nova right here, right? We don't know when Nova's coming back. There's been no word. There's been no Twitch drop. There's been no Void Trader. Nova's looking at around, when was that? 2014 is when Nova existed. So another 18 months from that, we're looking at summer of 2016 is when Nova went away. So it has now officially been 2 years. 2 years for Nova. So anybody that has a Nova set whatsoever, you should not be selling this for less than 800 platinum. By far, you should not be selling this for less than 800. And this is me being lenient with how everybody else thinks she should be priced. All these geniuses that use that website. If I'm being realistic with you guys, the fact that she's been gone for 2 years, well, you should be selling it for like 2,000 platinum. And why am I dead serious about this is because Frost, the height before Frost ever came back in these releases, his peak in price was 2,200 platinum. Ember's peak before she came back was 2,400 platinum. That's a lot of effing platinum for not knowing when these frames are coming back. And again, DE could do whatever they want with these frames, but Nova, I mean, realistically, on a minimum, she should be 1,800 to 2,000 right now for how long she's been gone. But because now we understand this pattern, and because nobody understands that the websites aren't actually good for you, and all that sort of stuff, or at least if you're selling, they're not good for you at all if you're selling. If you're buying, you could use them because buy low, sell high. And if everyone's throwing their crap away, then go buy it on the website for really low. But over here, you guys, seriously, like minimum 800 platinum is what you guys should be selling your Novas for. If you could make 1,000, if you could make 1,200 off of it, that's what you should be pushing for. When I see Nova going for like 300, 400, 500 platinum, I just facepalm. Like, you have no idea. You have no idea. I'm just... And again, this isn't me, this is nothing to do with me trying to pick on anybody. This is like, oh my god, please, everybody, just put your antennas up and do what the veterans do. Like, learn what the veterans learn, know what the veterans know. This is why I'm making these plat videos, why I'm helping you guys out with all this sort of stuff. There is a lot more platinum in it. There are people that have been playing this game, I swear to God, you guys, they have 500,000 platinum. 500,000 platinum. There are veterans that exist that have that just sitting there. And they've earned it all. You know, they didn't like cheat their way to getting that kind of platinum or any of that stuff. It's not fake plat. It's none of that, you know, none of that stuff. It's 100% legit. So I just want you guys to be aware that there are people out there that have made that over the last, you know, like over the years. And you guys can do that too. It's not hard. Hopefully you guys found this video helpful. It's already gone long enough. I absolutely love your faces. Thank you so much for watching. And remember, Twitch and all that sort of stuff. And you guys kick so much ass and I love your faces. All right, laters.